There we go. What up, man? I know the camera's a little blurry right now. I'm doing a witchy shout out to my homeboy representing the West Coast, the Morganfire. Morganfire, say what's up to the people. Say what's up.
Hello.
What up, Morganfire? This Mr. Carter calling from the East Coast, man. What up, baby boy?
Not much.
Yo, man, I was sitting here thinking, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people on YouTube claiming to be witches and Wiccans, and then you might run into them.
You want me to let you take it, please?
You know what I'm saying? We run into them on the street. Run into them on the street. They want to act like they too shy to say what's up, man. You know what I mean?
I don't even know what happened to my lighter.
Hey, I'm live, man. I'm live.
Oh, what's cracking?
Yeah, homie. What do you think's up with? What do you think's up with some of the YouTube witches out there, man? You think they scared to speak in person?
They need to come out. They need to come out this closet. This closet is only metaphorical. It's only limited by our perception of how the world is going to look at us. Maybe some may be in a true situation where they are not able to acquire a position or in their household to be able to be religiously active, but we all need to come out.
I feel you, man. You know what I'm saying? It's 2011. You know what I'm saying? I think if you're brave enough to be on YouTube, you know what I mean, you ought to at least be brave enough to say what's up in person. You know what I'm saying? We all a part of this. We all a part of the same witch community. You know what I'm saying? We all supposed to be here to help each other. Every other religion do it, so why can't you know what I'm saying? We should too.
We should be able to embrace everything together and not alone, since there's a lot of questions we have as an individual. When we come together, we have no questions.
Right.
All the questions that we had are answered in group.
Yeah. I know over here on the East Coast, there's a few groups that's really far spread. I can think of maybe two or three that's really active in my state, and the other ones is like it's like they met online, they formed a group, and then that's as far as it went with the people that originally started the group. You know what I'm saying? I don't see a lot of groups that's really incorporating a lot of new seekers, and then that creates a problem between the generations. You know what I mean?
Well, the problem was creating the generation before the old generation. And to elaborate on that the problem was created by the old generation, the generation before them, is that it was a time when everything was in secrecy. I'm gonna call it later. Everything was in secrecy, and everything was held in high coveted. It was very coveted, and through this covet, we secluded the knowledge, oppressed it, suppressed it, and almost erased it because of the fact that we never forgot the burning times. And because of this fact that we never forgot the burning times, now we can see that the new generations are being oppressed by the older generations, and each generation following the next generation.
Right.
So I feel that every generation has been oppressed in their own way.
I feel you. I think that's also that should also be an important for everybody, regardless of how long you practice, to make sure that to make sure you do like a book of shadows, and you know what I'm saying, because you never know when you might run into somebody who's of like-minded, who's, you know what I'm saying, willing to practice with you and willing to join your coven or join your circle, you know what I'm saying, even if you don't want to become an official coven, at least you know you got a witchy friend out there, you know what I'm saying, that got your back, you know what I mean? So I think and I can't remember what author's book I read that in. I want to say it was Scott Cunningham, when he was talking about going from solitary to opening yourself up once you meet other witches and meet other Wiccans, and embracing them, you know what I'm saying, as friends and as family, you know what I'm saying, instead of
we cannot we cannot force anyone out the closet, out their own mind,
Oh yeah.
because the closet is only a metaphorical term of the mind and the limited perception. Limited perception that everyone out there is going to judge you for who you are.
Right.
And that has been put up on the propaganda of the school system, of social societies, and social ranking and abilities and stuff. With us having celebrities that are able to get out of jail within a second, you know. All these things have put a kind of divider between ourselves and our spirits and everyone out there, because we can see that we're being judged for everything that we do.
Do you think even though we're in 2011, that there's still covens and meets under the moonlight in the woods?
Um, there's some difference between being in a coven and being solitary. And covens are secretive for a reason,
Right.
and their reasons have, they have their own reasons for doing it.
Uh-huh.
And it's each individual coven, but for a whole tradition to go under the cloak or be in shadows is absurd.
I found a group here where I live, and this witch, she does classes, and she says we're not a coven, we're just a circle. Now, as far as the teachings go, do you think it's important for solitaries to take some of these classes, join some of these social circles?
Yes. Because joining these circles, one second.
Themorganfire had to step away for a minute, but y'all see how easy that is, you know what I'm saying? I'm not putting him on blast where he lives, he ain't blasting me where I live, but we still open up each other's circle, you know what I'm saying, like, just to gain knowledge, you know what I'm saying, to spread wisdom amongst one another, you know what I'm saying? So I'm calling some of you tubies out on that, because when a lot of the seekers, you know what I'm saying, just like I was a seeker once, when I would leave y'all messages and ask for questions, you know what I'm saying, y'all wouldn't even respond, like, at all. And like I said, that puts a really big gap, traditional wise, and witchcraft wise, you know what I'm saying, between the socialities, the ages, you know what I'm saying. You gonna mess around and let the craft almost die out again, you know what I'm saying, because y'all too stubborn with your tradition. You ain't got to teach a person your particular note by note tradition, man, but don't be so uptight that y'all can't answer a few questions, man. I mean, that's a little ridiculous. I mean, even little witch miners out there, even though he might be a little bit in over his head a little bit, but even witch miner, you know what I'm saying, is reaching out, you know what I mean? So I mean, I think that if the young folks like that is willing to at least have a social circle, man, some of us older heads shouldn't be so stubborn with it, you know what I'm saying, in our ways.
Exactly. If we, as the older generation that's guiding the next generation, we really need to stop complaining that this person is not being guided right, and we need to stop trying to subscribe this book. Take this person as your responsibility to guide this person in the basics, at least. You know, make sure they have the concepts down. Don't let them run wild and, in a cornfield with a blindfold multi-state are all about, because it's not an easy thing. And even when you get to a book, it's still not very simple and very easy to grasp as much as it would be through communication.
Right. And a lot of them need
Because
to go ahead. A lot of them need to
because
know
with us
that
using our power tool, our tongue, we are using this power tool, this tongue. In the Mayans, it's actually tekbal, the flint. And the flint, if you understand what it does, it ignites fires, the inspiration. So it can do a lot of things. It can be motivation, fire. It can be motivation and creation and inspiration, also destruction. But focus on the motivation part. We can motivate others just through talking and making videos. The books do not motivate. They might motivate one's curiosity to learn more, but they do not motivate them to experience more.
right. Alright. I'm end up having to do a part 2. I hope I can keep the Themorganfire for a little bit longer. Thanks my friend for letting me borrow you for this video. Would you be willing to come back for part 2?
Yep, I'll be willing to come back for part 2. You know me.
Alright, man. So y'all see how easy that is, man? Expand your circle a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Reach out to people, you know what I mean? Some of us are here to help, you know what I'm saying? Some of us aren't really newbies, you know what I'm saying? We just want to see if we can bridge the generations. All of us aren't new like they're putting out there that they are. Some of them have been practicing for a really long time. Then for certain ones, they find that it's easier to get on the mind level of the new person if they make themselves new again. That way, they're relearning everything that they're about to teach. You know what I mean? Now hold that thought, and we'll be back for part 2.